Hi guys, welcome to Sisters in the City with me, Anna Vakili.
And me, Mandy Vakili. So even though it's been like literally a week since our last episode, I don't know why it feels like it's been so long this time.
It does, doesn't it?
It feels like forever ago we recorded the last one.
It's been actually less than a week, Mandy.
And it was a catch-up one, the last one, yeah? And why does it feel like, I feel like I haven't sat here for ages. It's so weird. But I swear to God, when you get older, like time goes so quickly.
I know, right? I mean, literally, I was just speaking to my friend about it the other day. I was like, was it 2 years ago that I met Cowslick? It feels like yesterday.
What?
Yeah.
I know, yeah. That's how time goes so quickly.
So quick. And last year we got back from Cyprus. Remember that whole episode we did after Cyprus? Like that just feels like yesterday. Everything just feels like yesterday.
Every week just like flies by. And you know what? Our parents used to always say it as well. They were like, when you get older, time flies so fast.
And I am going to be 33 years old, guys, in less than 3 weeks.
And Anna's going to do a cute little photo shoot for her birthday.
Yeah, I know. I thought, you know what? I might as well celebrate it. Like, put effort in. Last year for my birthday, I didn't even put an Instagram post up. Nothing.
What?
No, nothing. Not even it's my birthday, nothing.
And have you not noticed all these other influencers, they always, like, for their birthday or whatever, they always do, like, a shoot?
They put so much
effort
put
in.
effort into their Instagram. And I feel like me and you don't put effort into our Instagram.
I know.
We're too busy.
We're too cool.
We're too busy
cool.
enjoying our life a bit too much.
The people that are cool on Instagram aren't cool in real life. Like, the people that aren't cool on Instagram are really cool in real life. AKA me and Anna.
Literally, on Saturday, we both, basically what we do is we work with Fashion Nova, which is like one of our favourite brands. And we order outfits that we love to wear in general. So it's like, it's amazing. We basically get paid to wear what we would buy anyway.
Yeah, but
do you get what I'm saying?
For example, Saturday night, I wore one of my favourite outfits from Fashion Nova,
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to get a picture as well. Work and play, you
Exactly,
get me?
work and play. So
that did not happen.
Me too. We both wore, that's what I was literally just about to say. We both wore an outfit that we would have got paid to take a picture in. And we both we're going to get our picture first and then we're going to have drinks and enjoy ourselves. And then we have one drink. We're like, let's just have another drink and then we'll go and get our picture.
Mm-hmm.
Second time, let's have another second drink and then we'll get our picture. Next thing you know,
you're hammered.
Can't even get a picture.
And all my faces and all my pictures, I'm so drunk, are like, my eyes are rolling to the back of my head.
I was taking Mandy's and it was like, she didn't like it. And then it started raining. So we went back in the bar and I told my cousin to try and take some pictures of me.
It's such a weird one. Like, can you work and play at the same time? Can you go, get your content that you need to get and also party the night away? Can you? Or do you have to do it on separate days?
I think you should do it on separate days, personally. I think so.
And plus, I kind of feel like it ruins my night because I want to carry on drinking and have fun, but it takes 20 minutes out of my night where I'm just standing outside posing, looking like a weirdo.
The pictures that I took are actually hilarious. I can't even use them. I'm in between two tables. Like, it looks so stupid.
Anyway.
So basically that's that.
Saturday night was so fun.
It is. It was so good. I danced, the whole night.
And it's mad, like, you're what? You're going to be 32, yeah? All right.
33, I'm going to be.
You're going to be 33?
And I was thinking about that. I was like, how have I still got it? Like, I'm dancing.
Still got it.
Like, as in, like, firstly, on Friday night, I went to a club, called Rain. And I swear to God, I walked in there. I'm not even big-headed, but when I walked in, every guy was looking at me. Everyone was trying to hit on me. I was feeling like, fucking hell, all these little 22-year-old girls ain't got shit on me, And trust me, I'm not usually the kind of person to pick myself up. But I was like, you know what? I'm 33 and I've still got it. And then on Saturday night, dancing all night,
crazy
on the sofas like that.
Imagine, and me and Anna are like anti-drugs. Actually, we're going to be talking a lot about drugs actually on this episode, but we're anti-drugs as well. So we don't even need anything to keep us going all night.
Yeah, literally.
We can just party the night away. I swear to God, I had a really good time. If I do a shoot for my birthday when I'm 32, I want to caption it Dirty 2.
Ooh, love that. I love that.
Say why do you?
No, Dirty 32.
What?
Dirty 32.
I don't know. That's just too
I'm
much.
putting on my cake,
What are you going to put?
I'm going to put 30 free and thriving.
Oh my God. All right, listen. I feel like when we hit a certain amount of subscribers or follows for Sisters in the City, we need to do a Sisters in the City shoot.
Yeah, I want to, once we hit 100k subscribers, not only do I want to do a shoot, I want to do a huge giveaway to
my favourite makeup product.
Yeah, we'll do a big gift box, of all our favourite stuff.
Yeah. And I'm putting the makeup and the lashes and stuff in there. Okay, guys, I'm so lash obsessed, And I'm so lash obsessed that I keep thinking I need to open up my own lash. back in the day when you came out of Love Island, I was like, I want to open up my own lash brand. It's my passion. It's my passion. And then I ordered all these lashes from China, Alibaba, like to try and look at samples. And
You
then I
ain't
just left
serious.
it. But I just
You
have
ain't
to
serious.
do it.
What you should be doing is making a poetry book. But you're a waste of a talent.
When I'm talking about my passion here.
You're amazing and talented.
Every time we come here.
Lashes. Every single time I see you, you're like, Anna, how do these lashes look? Like, what do you think of them? What do you think of them?
Passion.
And I've got a confession to make. Every time I'm like, yeah, it's amazing.
So
but
you
they
lie.
look the same every time.
Really? Even like today?
They look every single time. I can't tell the difference. They look the same. And I'm just like, yeah, man,
I can tell the
amazing.
difference.
Yeah, Mandy, this is the one, Mandy. And I just chat to her.
So much shit.
And then she doesn't.
I need someone who's got the eye for detail like me. But I want to start, do you think, I want to start for Sisters in the City when we open up merchandise. I want Sisters in the City lashes, man.
But do you not think there's just so many lashes out there?
Yeah, but when you do sick lashes and your lashes blow, like that's a massive market, man.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know enough about them. Do you know what I mean?
I do. I buy
don't.
so much lashes.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we will do that maybe one day. You never know what the future holds for
Sisters
us.
in the City.
Yeah.
Right, so today.
I'm really insecure today.
Why?
Because I've got my arms out and I put on obviously so much weight.
Oh, fuck
And,
it. Last time I had
like-
my arms out though, yeah, I got a comment, someone saying like, oh, is Mandy pregnant because she's put on so much weight? So I was like, okay, gonna be covering those arms from now on.
No, since when did you care? Do you care? Like,
I mean, like, I don't mind my arms being out when you can see the whole physique, but it's just my arms and face in these clips.
you're the one, I don't care about trolls. I don't care about trolls.
No, I don't care about trolls. I actually took that criticism on board because I did look like I was like, you know, 5 months down the line in that clip.
Yeah, well, do you know what? It's just too hot to not, like, to wear sleeves right now. It's just too hot. And I'm going to just, like, embrace my arms.
You look very nice.
Embrace the flare.
I know, your arms are nice. All right, guys. Well, today's episode, okay, it's not going to be a crazy funny one. It's going to be still lighthearted and fun because that's just who we are as people. But
is it?
Yeah, we are. And we're negative, depressed, but also, and bare anxiety, but we're also really fun and funny and happy.
Yeah, we like the most weird people, aren't we? We like a big circle of everything.
Yeah, Gingerbread always says I have like some kind of personality disorder.
Why?
I don't know, but I've heard it
We
a few
like have
times.
extreme, like, crazy, happy,
I've
and
heard it a few
extreme
times
sadness.
in
like,
my life.
We're not normal. We're just extremes, aren't we?
He's like, you're either so happy or you're so depressed. Like, what is that? I'm like, it's being a hormonal woman, bitch.
Being hormonal mixed with being Iranian.
Right. That
Those two
culture.
things.
To be
Those two
cray-cray.
things.
All right, so basically, this episode is about mental health, but mainly around like the issues of OCD.
It's our struggles with mental health.
Yeah.
Like the struggles we had. Obviously, there's so many different mental health disorders or issues or whatever you call it. There's so many. But we're just going to cover what we've personally suffered with in our life.
Experience, yeah. So basically, I wanted to like talk about like OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, and intrusive thinking, which is a form of OCD where basically you think something and you can't get out of your head and you become obsessed with these thoughts, but these thoughts are usually really, really disturbing thoughts. So my story is that when I was like 16 years old and I finished my GCSEs, do you remember, Anna?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was like, we were talking like 15 years ago, yeah?
Yeah.
I tried weed for the first time. And I know like loads of people like laughing, like weed, like loads of people smoke it, but I tried it for the first time. And immediately, like, I became really sick. I, like, fainted.
She had to get sent to hospital.
Yeah, I became really sick. And as I woke up from this, like, weird, disoriented state, I immediately, like, woke up as a different person. Like, it was really scary. I spent the whole summer, 6 months, like, bedbound almost because of, like, the psychological kind of, like,
effect
it had on me.
And you know what? I just want to say something because, like, I know a lot of people like, cannabis isn't a big deal. It's not a thing. Firstly, I ain't never met anybody that smokes weed on a regular basis and is not got some sort of like mental issues. Secondly, I know another friend of mine, it's not just one, like I know someone else, she used to smoke weed all the time, she was fine. And then she took a weed cake. And then after she took that weed cake, boom, just like that.
Literally changed.
She changed. And then she started having like panic attacks.
Very paranoid thoughts.
Like, no, she had serious panic attacks. Like she'd be driving in the middle of the car and in the middle of the road and she'd have to stop and get out and she'd have like seriously bad panic attacks. And that's just from trying a weed cake once. And that's someone that smoked it before on a regular basis. So, you know, the thing is with like weed and stuff, yes, some people do take it for medical reasons and it has medical benefits, right? But
those people are like prescribed it though, Anna, and like it's regulated.
Right. So that's what I'm trying to say is like, because, you know, like whenever I have these debates with my boyfriend, he's always like, alcohol's worse, like weed's not bad, like people take it for good reasons. And I'm like, look, it's illegal, so it's not regulated. You don't know who the hell is making it, in which back garden or house they're making these things, especially these cakes, gummies, cookies, you know? These things, it's just not regulated. It's really dangerous. And I feel like people should be aware of that.
So I think like, it's really weird because people always do throw that in your face, like, oh, alcohol's worse. Yeah, if you're drinking every single day of the week and you're smoking weed every single day of the week, like let's say not drinking, if you're getting drunk, every single day of the week, or you're getting high every single day of the week on weed, probably drinking is worse.
Yeah.
But if you're drinking and getting drunk once a week and getting high on weed once a week, I feel like the long-term effects of smoking weed and getting high once a week is going to be way more like apparent than getting drunk. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because the only bad thing about getting, like the dangerous thing about getting drunk is, it, you know, when people get very smashed drunk, they may make bad like crimes and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean?
No, and it's really bad for your health as well.
Psychologically. Of course it's bad for your health.
Organs.
But like being really high and being really drunk, you're more likely to commit crimes and stuff like that when you're drunk. Do you know?
Yeah, but like the thing is, it's like the long game with weed. People that smoke weed,
it's a long,
slowly, like it has detrimental effects on their mental health. Anyway, so basically I smoked that weed and then I ended up becoming like very different. And I ended up having like OCD, but in the form of intrusive thinking. So what is intrusive thinking? I basically tried to explain it earlier, but it's like...
Because a lot of people might not even know what intrusive thinking is. Obviously, I didn't even know what it was until Mandy, you know, suddenly suffered with it out of nowhere, guys. She never had this before.
Yeah, so it's like, I should have bought this book I've got. It's called Overcoming Unwanted Thoughts and Intrusive Thinking. And it's basically like, imagine someone that's got OCD and like they can't leave their front door because they have to keep checking the front door. This is like similar, but in a sense of a thought. So let's say a thought comes in your head and a really like horrible one, like, oh, I'm standing on the edge of the balcony and I'm going to push my friend off. Like, you know, these...
Or I'm going to push myself off.
Yeah, or like, you know, something like that.
I like, sometimes if you're like driving the car, oh my God, am I just going to swerve myself?
Am I going to swerve? Yeah.
Yeah, like,
right.
Yeah.
I mean, people have like trillions of thoughts a day, yeah? Like, it's proven that human beings actually cannot control like 90% of the thoughts that we have. Right. You don't even realize you're thinking throughout the day. You know that? You're doing your thing, you don't even realize you're thinking. So that's just thoughts coming in your head, you know? But let's say a thought came in your head, an intrusive thought, and it was like disturbed you, like one of the examples we get. And then you suddenly get fixated on it. Yeah. And you're like,
why am I thinking this?
Why did that come in my head?
Like what's wrong with me?
Something's wrong with me. I must be like, depending on what the thought is, you know, like I must be evil, I must be perverted, or I must be sick. Something's wrong with me.
I must be dangerous, or I must be like wanting to self-inflict on myself.
There's something wrong with me, there's something wrong with me. Don't think this thought, the thought keeps coming, and the thought basically, the more you trying to stop yourself from thinking it, the more you become fixated on it, the more it consumes you. And then you end up, basically, if you end up in a seriously bad case of intrusive thinking or OCD, you're battling that thought from morning till night. Just the same way someone who might have OCD is cleaning all day from morning till night, yeah?
You're battling thought.
Like, we've got a little OCD, you're like, oh God, I touched something and washed my hands, yeah? Or like, oh, I need to disinfect that area again. But someone who's got a very bad case of it will literally, that will consume their whole day.
Yeah.
And intrusive thinking is the same. Like, we've all had weird thoughts that we can't control. But like, most of us will just look at it and be like, that was fucking weird, and just let it go.
Keep going with their day.
But like what happened to me after smoking that weed, like these thoughts just became my life. I couldn't stop thinking them because I had to try and control myself to stop thinking them. And it just became a very, very vicious cycle, falling down like a sand pit of...
Yeah. And I believe that like, okay, because for example, if I get a thought, it kind of like, for example, like I'm driving, am I going to swerve myself off? It's just so weird, like stupid, like who the hell, I wouldn't obviously do that. But if it comes in my head, I kind of just like keep going and I brush it off. And I feel like someone that has intrusive thinking or OCD with intrusive thinking, I personally believe that they're more sensitive and I'm an emotional person, but they're even deeper and even more emotional, that when they get a thought, it like really hits them hard. Like, why am I thinking this? And they start going really deep into it. Like, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? Whereas I'm more like, I don't give a shit. Yeah. So that's how I see someone that has like intrusive thinking. Like Mandy, I know like everybody thinks she's like this really tough person and she's funny and she's crazy, but like only obviously I know Mandy, our family knows her and our close tight-knit friends know her. Mandy's actually the most deepest person like you could meet, and she's very sensitive and she's very, very, very loving and emotional, most care. You are like, I think you're more like, I believe I am so much as well, but I think you're even more than me, like a loving person. I think you're the most selfless person. Like you care so much about the people you love and the people around you so much that if anything hurt comes into your head or anything, like a thought comes into your head, you take it so much more seriously because you're like, how is this happening to me?
Yeah.
It's confusing, you know? Whereas I'm more like, I don't give a shit kind of thing, and I move on.
So it's like, it's really weird. Yeah, I am really sensitive. I was very sensitive, much more than I am now. I think with age and everything, like you become more like, I don't know, stone-hearted in a way, and like I'm just more relaxed person. But
Maybe
I'm
it's
still,
good though. That's
I
good.
am still more prone to like intrusive thinking than anybody else. Obviously, I suffered with it a lot when I was younger. When I was 16 and I smoked the weed.
Yeah.
It was like, I went through like nearly a year of like going through a phase of like, why am I thinking like this? I didn't ever take any medication ever, which I'm very proud of. And I literally went for 2 sessions with like a psychiatrist or whatever my mum took me to, and then that was it.
You just literally had 2 sessions.
It was like,
it's something that like really, really to this day, like kind of a little bit haunts me a little bit because at that point in our life when it happened to you, I was in this like my first really serious relationship. I didn't understand it very much and I wasn't there for you properly like I should have been there for you. And like, I do take full responsibility for that, but I think
were so young.
I was so young and so I just like I didn't understand what was going on. I didn't realize how serious it was affecting you and how bad it was. I was just like, I don't know. I don't recognize that person. You know,
really sad.
I don't recognize that person. I'm like, why was I not there for you more than I should have been? But, you know, like I am sorry that I wasn't there for you more. But after that, though, in the years to come, whenever you did have an issue or a thing, I always was there.
I think you were even there for me then, but like
not properly.
I feel like Mummy really saved my life.
Yeah,
like she really did. And it's just really emotional. Just like the reason I wanted to do this is because
Mandy basically
I
was
really
like,
want to help people because I want to show them, look, like I'm someone that like most people look at and I'm like cool and I'm hot and I'm on social media, but like we all go through things. We've all gone through different things. And I just wanted to show people like you can go through anything. You can get through anything.
Yeah, she basically wanted for people that are also going through some sort of, it doesn't even have to be the exact same thing, like some sort of like mental health issues. You're not alone. Like
there is light at the end of the tunnel for everyone. And it's not on like, I'm very much a believer in like, if you can do things through like therapy and like communication with like friends and family and like-minded people instead of going on medication, like do it the natural way.
If you can.
Because if I could, then like I believe that nearly everyone can. As like almost.
Some people really do need medication.
I know. But like you have to just keep trying, and it's not something that's going to disappear overnight. Whatever your issue is, it's not going to be something that disappears overnight. It's going to be a work in progress. It's going to chip away slowly until there's like nothing left. You know. So yeah, like.
But that's why, guys, like me and Mandy are very much like anti-drugs, maybe if you say, because of obviously this happened to Mandy. Because of that, I never ended up trying weed, not even once. And like a lot of people think it's weird, I'm 33 nearly and I've never even took one puff. But it's like, do you know what? I'm so happy I never did it. I don't need to do it. And
I think when you get to this age, if you haven't done it, like obviously I'd never judge you or anyone if they tried it. Like I personally wouldn't, because like why would I gamble with my mental health when I already know what happened to me when I was like 15 years ago, when I was 16 years old? Why would I?
But yeah, that's why.
And also Gingerbread said it. Gingerbread was like, I stopped smoking weed because I started getting these thoughts. Obviously, it wasn't intrusive for him.
Yeah, but
it didn't probably take over his life or whatever, but he still got it. And a lot of people who take drugs, it affects them psychologically.
100%. I mean, I personally won't even date someone that does it. Like, I mean, I've had issues in relationships, even with Cowslick, when I first start dating people. I'm like, look, if you want to do that, like, it's my preference. I don't want to be with someone that does it. Like, okay, if on a one-off, like here and there, you're with your boys, okay. But on a regular basis, no way. Like, I don't want that.
I feel like this is something that a lot of people don't talk about, you know, like it's one of them very taboo mental health issues. A lot of people talk about depression, anxiety, and they talk about all these other things, but nobody talks about intrusive thinking because you're embarrassed to talk about it. Like,
I think like you're super brave to talk about it right now because, like you said, people will judge. Even maybe people like listening to this.
They're going to be confused.
People are going to be like judging you maybe now.
It doesn't matter.
But you know what? Like, fuck that. Who cares?
Everyone's had weird, fucked up thoughts. Even if most people that have had intrusive thoughts, though, they don't realize it. That's how insignificant it is for them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
A few of the funny ones that like, they're not even funny, but they come in my head like even now, but I just let them go straight away. For example, like, have you ever had thoughts of like, for example, you know that time you got into an argument with Cowslick, yeah? I came home and I was like, the ginger bit, I was like, why is like my sister arguing with Cowslick just after I said to you the other day that they never argue, yeah? Have I given her the evil eye?
Yeah.
And he was like, why are you giving your sister the evil eye? I'm like, of course I want the best for my sister. I would never give her the evil eye. But do you think I have? Like,
oh my God, I have. That's so weird you said that. So I've had this about you.
So he was like, well, don't you want your sister? And then he started looking like a widow. He's like, don't you want your sister to be happy? I'm like, I want my sister's happiness more than I want my own. Yeah? Of course I want her to be happy, but like, do you think I have done this? And we just kept going back and forth. And then I was like, then I realized this is the most important thing. Realizing that you're getting on that hamster wheel. I just realized I'm getting on the hamster wheel. Mandy, get off it.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Well, that's so weird that you've said that because that is coming to my head a few times. Like if I'm like, oh, am I horrible that like, you know, why is... I don't know, have I put the evil eye on her or am I horrible to think of this or what? 100% it's happened to me as well. But with me, it's a bit more like, okay, this bullshit.
Yeah, there's a whole actually chapter in this book I was talking about, unwanted thoughts and intrusive thinking of like questioning your character and your intentions. Like, have you ever thought like, do I even love my parents? Like, do I even love them? Like, do I love them? Like, weird thoughts like this. Anyway, like, another thing that happened like a while ago, so Gingerbeard, like, you know, we got our house broken into, yeah? So he got a knife from upstairs and he put it in his bedside table drawer. So since I was younger, when I was young, after this whole incident, I used to like hide like scissors, like for eyebrows and like knives and stuff because I always thought, what if I'm a sleepwalker? And what if I'm like in my sleepwalking, I hurt someone or hurt myself?
Right.
So then like Gingerbeard put this knife in his bedside table, yeah? And I was like, please don't do that. Like, I feel really uncomfortable. Like, what if you hurt me?
Yeah.
Or I hurt you, yeah, in our sleep?
That's more paranoia.
But that's
really paranoia. That is paranoia because you're like paranoid about what could happen.
All intrusive thoughts are paranoid thoughts.
True.
Like, but people that get obsessed with them are the people that suffer with mental health problems. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like, it's like everything's normal until it becomes like too obsessive.
Yeah.
So like every thought you've ever had is normal. And if you become obsessed with it, the best way of like getting off that kind of like hamster wheel is to just not stop yourself from thinking it, accept that this is a thought, it's come in your head, who cares? And like realize that it's just a thought, it doesn't mean anything. Yeah. And let it go.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I think it's been really brave, Manny, that you spoke about it. And hopefully, like, a lot of people, it will help a lot of people just to know that they're not alone, you know? Something really weird with me, like, recently, like, the last probably, like, 6 months happening is I've been getting really, like, weird OCD about items in the house.
What do you mean?
Like, I've never been the sort of like OCD type of person, like ever. Yeah. But recently, it's like if I'm in bed and my slippers aren't aligned, like next to me, or there's a pillow that's a bit like bent, or there's a label sticking out of the pillow, some weird shit like that, yeah? Like I cannot rest. I have to get out of bed, put my slippers aligned, or like put my pillows another way, like face it another way, or weird stuff like that, which I never ever had before.
You have to just not do it.
But like, why is this out of nowhere suddenly coming now? Out of nowhere.
You know, so basically there's a massive part of this book, that says you are like, even down to like, you know, when I said I sometimes question like without any evidence that Gingerbeard's cheating and like I get caught in this like thing. So like you're more prone to thoughts like this, yeah?
But I'm not having a thought.
Not even thoughts.
I'm not thinking if my slippers aren't aligned, something's going to happen. I don't think that.
I also have this weird thing like where I need to like fluff my pillow up, or I need to make sure that my slippers are aligned, all these stuff. these are more likely to happen in stages of your life when your mind is sticky. So your mind is like kind of stressed and anxious. So the more stressed and anxious you are, the more like behavioral OCD or like thinking OCD is more likely to occur because your mind's in a sticky situation right now.
Right, I understand.
Remember when I said to you, I'm more likely to accuse Gingerbeard of doing things when I'm already down and upset and anxious about other things.
Yeah. So maybe because right now, obviously, the last 7 months of my life have been quite hard. Maybe because of that, this is coming out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Because it's just really weird. And it's like, I don't even think if I don't turn my pillow another way around, like anything's going to happen.
Think about it like this. When you're on holiday, do you ever have any of like these, I need to put my slippers a lot? No.
Mandy, I think this time that I went to Dubai, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, like it's really weird.
Basically, when you are the most relaxed and calm and like at peace, you're less likely to have like these little OCD things.
Yeah, I mean, it's a new thing, but I'm kind of trying to put it to bed by like pushing past it. Like, okay, just go to bed, like even if your slippers aren't aligned and just do it,
100%.
Pushing past it.
That's exactly the way you have to do it.
Yeah.
Don't ever be like, oh, it's not a big deal, let me just do it. It depends how much it's bothering you. Like everyone has little rituals, I bet, like that they have to do before they go to sleep. Make sure their toothbrush is a certain way or whatever. If it's not a big deal.
I mean, I think
if you feel like it's
rituals
bothering
like
you,
that, like, my kitchen has to be clean before I go to bed and stuff like that. That's not bad OCD, I guess.
Yeah.
That's good, right? It's not, I like to have the kitchen clean before I go to bed, stuff like that. But like my pillow, your decorative pillows.
Yeah.
So I put them away on the cupboard before I go to sleep, and then I put them back out when I make my bed in the morning. But it's like there's this label, and if it's like facing this towards me, I cannot. And like Kauzik laughs at me. He's like, "What is wrong with you?"
You have to just let it be. You have to just let it be. So I used to have this like really weird ritual where I had to like plant my pillow, like both of them, before I go to sleep every single night. And if I forgot, I was like, oh fuck, I have to lift my head up, plant my pillow. Now I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. Like
what about stuff like, when you're walking, if you walk under those pillars or if you walk over a drain.
That's superstition.
Stupid shit like walking over
That's superstition,
drain.
Isn't it? But one thing though, it's not for me, it's not OCD, it's nothing, it's not intrusive thinking, but I actually cannot sleep when there's any light or sound.
That's completely different, man.
I know. I just thought I'd bring it up because it really annoys me that I'm such a light sleeper. I hate it.
Yeah.
It's not OCD because like my mum, when she stays round, like in the guest room, we keep the corridor light on so she can go upstairs and come downstairs. People always laugh that we say my mum because our mum. But like,
it's because you're talking to the people as well as me.
I struggle so much to see if there's any light or any sound. Like, what is that?
You're just a light sleeper, Mandy.
I know, it's the worst. It is the worst curse, yeah?
Nothing to do with
I know, but it just annoys me. It affects my mental health because I'm such a light sleeper. I hate it. Anyway, my mental health is in a very good place right now.
Yeah, good.
And I just want to say that
Touch wood, since we're talking about superstitions and mental.
Like no matter what comes in my head or whatever I experience, how anxious I might get, I don't ever fall like down that hole that I used to be in when I was like 16 years old and like obsessing over thoughts or behaviors or rituals or nothing. But I did struggle with OCD, and I just want everyone to know that you can get through anything. Just accept that like this is something that's happening to you. Research on it. See, there's like
loads of people that are like
loads
you.
of people just like you. Read books on it. Don't try and run away. Running away from anything, it's just going to make it worse.
Yeah.
But I really, on that topic, I'm kind of done.
Yeah, well, I think that was good. I'm sure there's so many people that are going to find it useful.
I hope so.
Yeah, because I mean, a lot of people probably don't even know what intrusive thinking is. For me, I'm not ever suffered with intrusive thinking. Like I said, I kind of comes into my head. I'm like, I don't care about the thought. I just let it go. But I suffered from anxiety, I'd say, since I was about 26. Here and there, but recently it's become really bad, as you guys know. Yeah, I mean, my
God, it reminds me of Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan's like, everybody now has anxiety.
Yeah, well, it's true.
But why?
I think it's because of the way our society is right now. He's right as well that everybody does have anxiety in this generation because of social media and the way things are now.
The pressures
of life now, yes. But I mean,
it's like now in life, it's like, to be happy is an equation. Like you have to have this. You have to have a nice car. You have to have a nice body. You have to have nice hair. You have to have a good social media, cool lifestyle, a boyfriend. Like you got to have, you know what I mean? It's like, it's almost like a formula has been created for happiness.
Yeah. And it's weird because it's like, I know you're one day going to look back and regret all that. Like, why was I just not in the moment happy? But it's like, I'm always scared that I'm doing something wrong or something wrong is going to happen, something bad's going to happen, or am I, I'm always got that, I can only compare obviously the feeling of anxiety to, that feeling when you have before you go to an exam and your stomach's like,
worry.
Like your stomach's going like that and you're like really worried. Like I get bouts of that. Like even talking about it right now, it just comes a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm always, if I think about certain things, I get really bad anxiety, or it could just be random. But it started around when I was 26. But I think for me, mainly the things that bring me anxiety is, I think about my like situational work, like what am I doing? Am I wasting my time, with certain things?
Like this podcast.
The podcast, I enjoy doing it and I love doing it, but I'm always worried. Like, but the thing is, in my head and in my heart, I'm like, I know Sisters in the City's got so much potential. I know it's going to be big and I love it. And I mean, we're not taking a loss. We're making something from it. But it's like, there's this little thing in the back of my head that's get me worried,
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
But it's like, not just that, my relationship, I think, is one of the biggest things for me that gives me anxiety. It's like, am I wasting my time? Am I not wasting my time? Like, I love him very much, but there's certain things that between us that we clash, and like, there's certain things that get me worried. Like, am I wasting my time? Oh my God, I'm going to be 33. What am I going to do?
But that's the thing. That's why basically Piers Morgan, basically in this clip, I need to play it for you. He says that like this generation, they think that like life is just supposed to be like just smooth sailing. He goes, there are people that have real mental health issues and some people need to go on medication, and there are people, he goes, but things like relationship problems, money problems,
I agree,
career problems, and things like, what else? Like just general like grievances, even losing someone in your family. He goes, even losses in your family,
they're not
especially
real.
if they're natural. Like, he goes, these things, every single person
goes through
has gone through it in life, and everyone needs to learn how to go through it.
No, I agree, and I don't think. I mean, I know that I'm not like a bad mental health sufferer, or bad anxiety, bad. Like, I don't think I'm at that level at all. Right? I think my level.
Me and you are very happy people.
But I do think that people can deal with things different ways.
Yeah.
And I don't think that me, like for a normal, like a relationship argument or a relationship worries, or like, I'm not dealing with it like a healthy, normal person, I think.
What do you mean?
Like, for example, the other week when me and Kalzik had that argument over something not that big, like the way my mental health felt at that point wasn't like a normal.
It wasn't proportionate to your little dilemma.
Yes, exactly. Like, yes, Piers Morgan says people all have ups and downs, but my downs aren't normal. Do you know what I'm saying?
But that's his point. His point is that like this generation is so like sensitive and like to the point that like they can't overcome real life challenges that everyone's going through, even down to breakups, divorces. Like, it's like these things, he goes, are things that everybody needs to be equipped to deal with.
I agree, yeah.
Because we need to be equipped to deal with breakups, divorces, like, losing like older people in our family. Like he says, even losing jobs. He goes, back in the day, people were much more hardened by life.
Right, I see what you mean.
Like now,
I agree.
Everyone's become so sensitive. And I do think as well, like, I'm a bit like that. Because the smallest thing, like, I can get so down. I'm like, mate, there's some real shit happening out there in the world, and I'm upset about my argument with Gingerbit. Like, get a life, Mandy.
Exactly, I know, but then why are we feeling like this? Because that's the feeling that is happening.
It's because whether life is too sensitive,
like whether we're too sensitive or life has spoiled us, it's still a feeling that's coming, and it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel good. It's draining.
Look at someone, for example,
it's emotional draining.
Like our dad. Yeah. He's been through some serious shit in his life. It takes a lot for him to get affected, or his mental health to get affected, because he's been through running away from like his country, people wanting to execute him, back of a van, traveling like to Pakistan to India to London, starting here with no money, nothing.
Not seeing his son for 30 years.
Not seeing his son for 30 years, his son and ex-wife being like, in prison.
What?
He's like gone through a lot, and we're just, what's really our story?
But I think what his mental health is not showing in that way, but I definitely think it's been affected by everything 100%. That's happened. It's just not in the way that we show it. Like, I have anxiety, I have this, but he has got issues from that.
Yeah.
And you can't say he doesn't. And I think I just think, we maybe are sensitive, but it is still there. Like, and it's still.
I think social media has played a massive, massive role in this generation's like mental health going downhill.
Yeah, because if you're sitting on the sofa and your anxiety is so bad that you can't even get up and like, just
wash your hair.
Yeah, that's there at the end of the day.
And then when you go on social media, everyone's living their best life.
And whether that's because you're too sensitive or whatever, it's still happening. And maybe our generation is too sensitive, but
look, like, it's weird. Like, everybody needs to know that social media is the highlight reel is the world's highlight reel. It's, actually, I need to find this video again. I need to put it on Sis in the City, where he said that people that are really big and famous on social media are like 1%, yeah? He's like 1% of the world. He's like, so the best performer, the best dancer, the best body, the best skateboarder, the best bungee jumper, I don't know, the best singer, I don't know, the best makeup artist. It's like the minority of like the actual world's population. And then when you go on there, you feel so useless.
Yeah.
Because it's like the tiny, tiny proportion of the world that's like extravagantly amazing and talented in one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not real life.
Yeah. I agree. It's true.
And if you have to use it to motivate you, you can't. When you're really down and you go on social media and if it's making you feel worse, you kind of have to be careful. You kind of have to balance your use.
God, yeah, I agree. That's why I think I rate people that take time off it sometimes.
Yeah.
Even famous people take time off it. I've seen they're like taking a break, from social media.
And I think if you do want it to motivate you, then you need to be following the right things.
Yeah, it's true.
So that's basically it. And like everyone's mental health should come first in their life because that basically sets the pace for whatever else you've got going in your life, your friendships, your family, your relationships. If you've got bad mental health, everything else goes to shit.
Exactly.
So prioritize it, guys.
And I think it's also important that men don't get left out when it comes to mental health.
Yeah.
I feel bad on men because firstly, I feel like in their friendship groups, they don't talk about their feelings and if they're down, even down to our boyfriends. Like if you see what they with their friends, all they talk about is like football and like maybe, I don't know, chicks.
I always say to Gingerbeard, like, I hope you don't talk about chicks, but if I say to Gingerbeard, like, if me and you broke up, when you're really down, who do you talk to? He's like, no one.
No one. They don't talk to anybody. Like if they've got something going on, they don't talk to anybody. I'm just about now.
Everyone's going to be like, man, you're a hypocrite because you said like about that. That Love Island clip about the guys
crying. Yeah, but that's different. That's completely different.
Right?
Yeah, they're crying to some stupid shit. But I think that's why a lot of men do love having a girlfriend and a relationship because when they're in a relationship or they've got girlfriend, or boyfriend, they've got someone where they can speak about their feelings to more. And they don't feel comfortable speaking to their boys, their parents. Men have to look like the man all the time.
You know what's weird though? Like Gingerbeard, since I've been with him, has never ever once opened up about his mental health to me ever. Like
maybe he doesn't have mental health issues.
He's never. How is a human not in once in 2 years ever been like, I'm Mandy, I'm down, I'm depressed, or I'm sad, or in a bad mood? He must be hiding it. How?
Maybe he's just extremely
strong,
happy,
touch wood, innit?
Person.
Can't both be fucked like me.
But I think it's just men need to be able to be open more about their mental health.
I agree.
And speak about it. Talk to your. I said to one of my guy mates that was down. He comes and speaks to me, and I'm like, why don't you just try speaking to your brothers, sisters, friends? Why not? Just try it.
Yeah.
Maybe if you're the first person in the group that does it, everyone else will. I know they're not going to turn around and laugh at you. If they do, then they're not real friends.
I completely agree.
And then maybe if you're the first person to do that, then the rest of them will start feeling comfortable to open up as well.
100%. Some men start breaking glass ceilings.
Yeah.
And opening up about their mental health and opening up about their emotions. But look, this whole Andrew Tate culture of don't be a bitch, don't be a pussy, man up. It's just toxic masculinity.
Exactly.
That has just made the situation for men 10 times worse.
Even worse.
But smart, educated men will look past that and be able to see that someone like Andrew Tate is probably suffering the most inside and is being projected in really passive-aggressive ways.
Exactly.
And
I think it
follow
takes
him.
a smart man to know that.
Yeah, it takes a very smart man to know that. So anyway, guys, this episode is to help you feel like if you do have mental health issues, you're not alone. Everyone suffers from it in different ways and different levels. Reach out to friends and family, and I hope this made you feel a lot better.
Yeah, and even if you are too sensitive in this generation, you're not alone either, because there's loads of
We're all
extremely
sensitive out here.
sensitive people out here. So yeah, you're not alone, and we love you, and we will see you next week.
We love you guys.
Bye-bye.